Hi, my name is Isabel and I'm one of the team members of Project Kinkibo, who is currently running this whole video series IMTV. Project Kinkibo, the word Kinkibo is actually the Japanese pronunciation of three kanji characters which translates to golden hope, and that is really what we wanted to bring to the youth who are watching these videos, the youth that we are in touch with in our outreach, as well as the adults who are currently in different youth's lives. We wanted to let them know that youths are not hopeless, and that with the right resources and right mindset, they are able to become who they really are and who they really want to be, and this is the golden hope that we wanted to bring to them. So that is the meaning behind our project name. Yep, so the tagline for our project is called I am not a label, I am underscore, and we tried to encourage youth especially to fill up the underscore and to break out of the labels that have been put on them by society. So how we decided to come up with it was that when we were doing needs assessments with youth workers at different youth centers, we realized that one common theme that kept coming up was the labeling of youth at risk especially. And one of the youth workers told us that everybody is at risk, and risk is a spectrum. You cannot just define who youth at risks are, and by putting that label on them, they feel the label and they absorb it and take it on their own, and it becomes their identity, and then things just tumble and get worse from there. So we wanted to work on that more because we thought that it's a really real problem that we as youth see in ourselves as well as the people around us as well. And the tagline came up because when we were trying to brainstorm on what we should name the project and how it should be done, I was reminded of a time where I was having internship in my previous youth center. We would go out for meetings and meals and stuff, and one specific day my supervisor noticed that there was this like mural board that had a sentence that had a blank in it. I can't remember exactly what it was, but she told us to fill up the blank, and subsequently whenever she saw words like for example beautiful, she would ask us to define it based on what we think it is. And she told us that by hearing what we have to say or by hearing what other people have to say, we find out more about who the person truly are and what the person really thinks. And that was a very captivating moment for me. So I was reminded of that moment while brainstorming, and that's how we decided to use the label, use the whole sentence I'm not a label, and getting youth to fill up the blank by themselves. Okay, so from the start of our project, what we have done so far in our project, we have done a book launch based on our senior Gary Lau's book, I'm Not a Label, I'm Gary. Other than that, we've also done school outreach where we went to 3 schools so far. We talked to them more about the issue on labeling within themselves, encouraging them to break out the labels. And of course, Gary was invited, and Gary spoke more about his story. For street outreach wise, we actually went out to the streets at different places like Next, Scape, Tampines Hub. Yep, and also the biggest portion of our project is actually our online campaign where you are watching right now. Our online campaign consists of Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. On Instagram, our biggest movement is actually our hashtag Label No More campaign, whereby we got different youths to post more about their stories. And so far, we have so many youths who are doing it, and it's very heartening for the team to actually see that there is effect in what we are doing now, and youths are really trying to break out the labels, and people do see meaning in this, and we are really very heartened and touched by it. One of the experiences that I had while I was working on this project, so I took a Grab to school to meet my teammates for a project, and the Grab driver asked me simple conversations like, oh, you're going to NYP, so what are you studying? And I mentioned, oh, I'm studying social work. And he was all like, you don't look like the social work type, He was just like, you look like the super rabak havoc kind, like you don't look like you can do social work. And he said many things about it. And in that moment, it affected me. I was like, am I really meant for social work? And before that, I've never doubted this path that I'm going on. I was like, yes, social work is a road for me, and I was always very confident about it and everything. You being a stranger whom I don't even know, it's your words are affecting me. So I was like, it really made me realize that, you know, you don't need to be a special person or like somebody who's really close with the youth or whatever to actually impact somebody with your words. That was when I realized the importance of labeling and how great it can really impact somebody, you know. And that was what drove me to work harder in this project. And when I shared with my teammates, they were all like, yeah, I agree, you know, and they became much more motivated to work on this project and to really spread this awareness. And that is why this is how far we have come, and we are very proud of it. Really hope that you will continue to follow us on our pages, like our project, and also help us spread awareness with this issue going on about labeling in youth, and of course like sharing our posts and everything. And yes, we hope to see you soon. Bye.
I learned that words are very important and they can affect someone for life.
I realized that labels are very real and that everyone can play their part and be mindful of what they say to their friends.
So what stuck out to me through this project is youths are worthy, and yeah.
I learned that every youth has a story and every story can be beautiful.
I learned that with a little courage, you can share your story and motivate people to break out their labels.
Through this project, I learned that everyone's word and action can play a part in improving and changing a youth's lives.
I learned that our words matter, so we should all be very careful with what we say.